Hello everyone, this is Mark Rivera at genreonline.net, and this is an unboxing and review of the Syd Mead Bladerunner Prototype Blaster by Chronicle Collectibles. As you can see here, I bought it, and you could still buy it at the time of me making this video from Big Bad Toy Store. I'll leave the link in the description. So let's get on with the unboxing. Sorry about that. It's a little funky doing it with one hand and holding the camera at the same time. Okay. And Big Bad Toy Store sticker. Please note that this is a purchase that I actually made myself, so my showing the box that it came in, etc., and the fact that I bought it from Big Bad Toy Store should not be seen as an endorsement for Big Bad Toy Store, although I bought from them in the past. In other words, I bought this, I was going to buy this no matter what, once I could get one. It just so happened I can get it from Big Bad Toy Store. But they are a good retailer for collectibles and that sort of thing. But I would not take this review as being an endorsement for anybody other than the review of the product itself that I'm going to do now. So you have that sticker, and nice bubble wrap, and in nice plastic. Okay. Let me just put this box and pop it away. And here is the blaster box itself. It's nice protective plastic over it. So let's get rid of that. Okay. All right, so let's look at the box itself. Syd Mead. In visual futurism, the line between total fantasy and futuristic is a thread of reality. One-to-one concept blaster, Syd Mead Incorporated, used with permission. And there's a picture of the prototype blaster as originally designed for Bladerunner by Syd Mead, but it was never made. Obviously, they went in a different direction, but Syd Mead has had a huge career designing props for movies and so forth. Let's see what's on the other side of the box. Okay, I guess this is the proper cover with the actual original artwork. Syd Mead one-to-one concept blaster. Okay, and then over here, Chronicle Collectibles. Okay. Made in China, not a toy. See, is there anything on this side? Just the Syd Mead branding. Let's see on this side. Chronicle Collectibles branding. And that's it. Okay. So now I'm going to take this out of the box. Just give me one moment because for this part I have to use both hands. So I'll be right back, okay? So once again, this is the box that it actually comes in, and this is what's inside the box. Okay, so you remove this, and here we have this like styrofoam, and let's see how this, okay, this styrofoam comes out, and here's the base. Okay. And the base has in the back Syd Mead Blaster, limited edition, Syd Mead Incorporated, used with permission, Chronicle Collectibles, chroniclecollectibles.com, made in China, etc. Okay, so there's no edition size on this that I can tell, but still it's important to show you guys everything. So, and this is the base itself. Nice heavy base, I like it. I like the fact that there is that felt underneath it where I just showed you what it said. Okay, this is my little review helper, and because if anyone knows how dachshunds are, they like to get their nose in everything and see what's going on. So here's the blaster. So let's try and get this out one-handed. Okay. It's got a nice weight to it. Really cool looking. Okay. Let's take a look at it closely. You could see some sort of number here. I don't know exactly what the exact number says, but hopefully you guys could read this for yourself by pausing it. Okay, looks kind of like a camera. It's part of it anyway, like this part over here. Okay. Warning. Pressure limit 500 PSI, Mead Industries. Okay. There's the back of the gun. Okay. And here's the other side. All right. So first things first. There is something here in the bottom. It has to come out. So let me just take that part out because it is part of the process. So I'm gonna have to pause this again, but I will be right back. Okay, this is the fuel cell that comes inside here. And I'm just gonna put the batteries in. You basically use a Phillips head, screwdriver, and basically you pop the batteries in, as I believe I'm doing hopefully correctly. And then all we gotta do is put the lid back on and screw it back together. So I'll be back in 1 second because I have to, once again, you need 2 hands to be able to do that. So I'll be back again in 1 second. Thank you. Collectibles like this are not the type of thing that I expect to be made or seen every day, which kind of is really the reason why I wanted to get this, is because I'm a Bladerunner fan and I wanted to get the blaster, the Syd Mead prototype, because I have a copy of the Hero Blaster used in Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049, which I'll show for comparison at the end. And I'll also leave a link in this description for the review that I did of that years ago. But over here, you know, unfortunately, first I'm going to say that the whole item is made of plastic, and there seem to be some disappointing cut corners, and I'm going to get into that as well. And there's the light up feature, and I love it. I love it. I'm so glad. I'm still going to put the Adam Savage link in here, by the by. But I love the way this looks. It's very cool. Awesome. Okay, let's see how the other side looks. I love it. This is where they cut corners. Like, this is supposed to be some sort of regular, like something that I guess you can move up left or right, or maybe this over here too should move for the charge, because this is supposed to let out like a bolt of electricity to stun or kill the replicant. And at least that was the idea, but it doesn't, you know, it doesn't really. It doesn't move, period. And then I thought that there would be some, I didn't expect the readout screen to work, but I expected it to be more than just the silver color of the gun itself. Now, with the cylinder in there, it's got more weight to it, so it does have a, regardless of whether you have the cylinder in it or not, it has good weight to it, okay? And it really feels good in the hand, and I like the fact that you can take it out. Now, if you try putting this in there, will it work? Yes, it will work. You could put it here and leave the lights on and then just kind of go like this. And for demonstration purposes for this video, I'm probably going to leave it like that. But generally speaking, what I showed you before, the cylinder is supposed to go here when you're not showing it to someone else, and that's how you're supposed to display it. So the next thing I want to show you guys is there's this other feature here. This moves. Now, I thought this was going to, not for the movie, the idea was this would move all the way back like this, and Deckard or whoever would be using this blaster would basically, you see the pew, pew, okay? Basically, Deckard would take the blaster out of a holster, and then it would go like that into place, or maybe it would snap it to place, and then you basically fire. I love the way the lighting works though on it. I mean, if anything, my only caveat is I wish that this wasn't always on, and that you could just leave it inside here without having to take it out, because it only works, I guess, when it's all connected together. But you really shouldn't have to have the cylinder out in order to have the, you should be able to shut the light feature off without having to take out the cylinder but leave it in there and display it like I had before. This way, when somebody comes over and you want to show it to them, you could just leave the cylinder, you already have it in there, and they could see the light up feature, etc. Okay, it's made out of plastic. I can't tell you, I can't judge the plastic for you or anything like that. It's not, I mean, unless it's something else, it's pretty much plastic. I mean, I can't judge for you what the quality of the plastic is. All I could say is this is the replica of the prototype that wasn't used. As I told you, Ridley Scott and the prop makers went in a totally different direction. But I do have that replica, and I'm going to put these two side by side so you could see them. And then that'll be the conclusion of this review. But, okay, let's go and let me get that, and I'll be right back. Okay, here side by side is the prototype that was not used in the movie. In fact, there wasn't even a physical copy built. This was designed by Rick Ross and another gentleman, and it's once again used under license by Chronicle Collectibles to create a what-if 3D design of the blaster based on the sketch that you could see right here on the box cover once again. This is by NECA. It's not available in the US. In fact, I don't even know if these things are available anymore, period. This, you can leave it displayed, and it has a light switch on it. Now the gun itself, though, the prop or the replica of it is connected to the base. You can't remove it without breaking it. That I know for a fact. But nevertheless, I still like it. This is the NECA version that was released in the EU when the Bladerunner 2049 movie came out on Blu-ray disc. So this was packaged with the Blu-ray disc. Mine came from Italy, but these are available in Spain and Germany, etc. I'm not sure if they were available in England, but I know that they were not available, at least not officially available in America. As I said before, I ordered mine from Italy when this came out, and this is still, even with the handle, the fact that you just display it with the handle, it still looks awesome. And this is made from resin and so forth. And even though, like, the gold standard, if you want to get the original replica of the Deckard's blaster, is by Tamanosuke in Japan. This is not going to be the Tamanasuke, but you know, I didn't pay Tamanasuke to buy this. I bought this basically for about less than $200, you know, and then had it shipped from Italy, so it came out to a little over 200, which is less than what I paid for this. And the quality is excellent, and it's screen accurate because NECA got it from the actual blaster. This is made based on the original blaster used for Blade Runner 2049, which of course was the same one used for Blade Runner, or molded from the same cast of the original. So this is a really great piece for those of you who want to get a copy of the blaster with that's screen accurate, but you don't have $1,000 to buy it from Tamanasuke. Of course, you get a lot for that $1,000. I mean, it is the gold standard of replicas, and I believe Hollywood Collectibles is the U.S. distributor of that. But in terms of, okay, I don't have $1,000 to spend, this is this one by NECA is probably the next best thing before the water gun that came out the same year as the movie made by Takagi Fullcock, which was being sold, imported in the U.S. for $100, and there was no way I was going to spend $100 up for a water gun. I know people have bought it back then, and people have customized it, etc. But for me, you know, if I have $1,000, if I hit the lottery or something like that, and I could afford to buy it, sure, I would get the Tamanasuke Hollywood Collectibles version. But otherwise, you know, this is my replica, and I'm very happy with it. So, as I said before, it's got the light up feature, which is, you know, the most important thing for me anyway. I mean, nothing else moves on or anything like that, but it looks like it should from the movie. I wonder if Adam Savage has, because Adam Savage is a nut for Blade Runner, and you know, I mean that in a positive way. And he, you know, he has multiple copies of the gun that he's made himself and bought, etc. But this is my only copy, and again, the reason why I love it also, it's not something that you see that's very common, and it's one of my favorite blasters from the science fiction films, and I'm a big sci-fi fan. So I'm leaving the lights on here, and now here is the prototype with the lights on. Okay, unfortunately I have to keep my hand on it, but you can see it is a comparably nice feature. Okay, and this one does come out of the holder, and if as long as you're willing to let the battery drain, you could just display it like this. But you know, you see the indicator light over here, it's always on until you take the power cell out, which is why they have it here. So if you want to save the battery and not have to buy more AAAs, because it takes 2 AAA batteries, then you're going to need to take it out. You know, that's just the way it is. But at least now we know that you just slip it in, and once it makes the connection, you hear it click, you see, then you can actually use it, and it works. I don't expect anything like this to be coming out anytime soon. That doesn't mean that it hasn't happened or that it will never happen. But unless you go to Etsy or maybe know somebody that's really good, or you can do it yourself, the only way you're going to get this that I know of is if you go to the secondary market, and you're going to pay even more for that. And I don't think it's worth paying an eBay price for something that I honestly will say that I don't think that the value is as good. Like, in other words, this should be, I would say a fair price for this tops would be $200. because, and that's including shipping, because that's how much this cost. And this, you know, takes 2 watch style batteries. But as you can see, it looks pretty damn nice, okay? And the batteries go on and off, you know, it stays in the thing. It, you know, it looks pretty, it looks nice, it's impressive. This looks pretty and looks nice and it's impressive, but, you know, you shouldn't have to, like, have this thing just stuck in there all the time and then not be able to shut it off. That's the killer for me on that. That's why I knock off some points for that. Now, I don't do letter grades or anything like that, but I'm just saying that it would have been better if there was a button or a switch that you could shut the power thing off completely, so that if you left it in the gun and displayed it that way, you would then, you know, as I said before, you would not have to you would not have to worry about the battery. You could just leave it in there and take it out as you will. That said, though, you just take the power supply out, and it works, and it looks beautiful once, especially with the light effect. It really looks nice. But unfortunately, this goes for like $270 something, I think. I don't know the exact price. You'll have to look at Big Bad Toy Store, but it's not a discount price. I waited a long time to buy this. This was originally shown at, I think it was San Diego Comic-Con at 2015 in the Chronicle Collectibles book. And then basically it went on sale maybe in 2018, close to that, around the time of Bladerunner 2049. Then it just seemed to take forever to come out, to the point where Chronicle Collectibles went out of business. And this was like, you know, really, really late. And because I had ordered mine from Sideshow Collectibles, the Sideshow Collectibles, I believe, did get all the copies of the gun that they had on order from Chronicle, and they basically sold out. When Adam in his video says, oh, you can't buy this anywhere, he's wrong. At least at the time of me making this review, you can buy this from Big Bad Toy Store. That's where he got his. But again, I would say, unless you absolutely positively need to get this because you're a super fan or because you know the rarity of this piece, I don't think it's worth close to $300 suggested retail price with shipping. It's just, that's too much, you know. And if I didn't, that's how much I spent, maybe $285 altogether with shipping or something. So that's a lot considering. But, you know, it is what it is, and that's still less than you would pay for it on the secondary market. So I don't know how long Big Bad Toy Store, how many more of these things they have left in stock, or if there's any other retailer that has it. It's definitely worth doing an internet search and try and do some price comparisons. But if not, the Syd Mead Bladerunner prototype blaster is definitely something you should consider. And I, for one, am happy with it, but I don't think it's worth the money they're asking for it. That's basically how I feel about it. So I'm just going to put it in its proper display thing for you before the video concludes. And so just give me one moment, because again, I need 2 hands in order to take the power cell out. So I'll be right back. So here's the power cell once again. I just want to show that there is some nice weathering and grime on it. Okay, and then once again, here's where the battery goes. This is where you would slide it in. This clicks, and when it's connected to the gun, that's how it works. If you just put your fingers on it without it, it doesn't work. So yeah, it has to be connected to the gun itself. When not in use, though, I would put it, let me see, where's the writing? I'd put it right over here, like, yeah, put it like this. You can see the writing. And if you can display it this way, that's how it would go. Here's the 2 together. Okay. And otherwise, If you display it this way, which is where I've also seen it displayed, you basically do it as so. Anyway, so links in the description below to Tested, to Adam Savage's review, as well as links to the Big Bad Toy Store page where you can buy this if you want to get it, and a link to my review of the original NECA official replica of Deckard's blaster that I got from the EU. And basically, that's it. So this has been a review of Chronicle Collectibles Syd Mead Bladerunner Prototype Blaster 1:1 scale. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye-bye now.